everybody. It's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blueshirt Underground Show, the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in and find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers.
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
Can't BS a Ranger fan. Can't BS a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Blueshirt Underground Show. Today is Monday. It is September 19th. Summer vacation has officially ended. It's time to get back to work, and it is Monday night. Y'all know what that means.
That's right. Joe Willie Namath against the 2-11 Baltimore Colts. Unbelievable. Will Lydell Mitchell get 100 yards running? We don't know. But against the Jets, sorry, defense, it's probably going to happen. My question for tonight is, OJ, look at him go. Look at OJ run. What was the first name of the judge in the OJ trial?
Lance.
Oh, my God. Right off the bat. There goes James Friedenberg. The 20 touchdown. You would never think that guy's name was Lance Alito.
Right.
Wow, that is impressive. I couldn't think of it before. Anyway, Jim has returned. We've got the coughs, we've got the colds, but we persevered. Well, Jim persevered as he went to the prospect game, and will give us a full recap. Right now, back to GIF.
What a weekend of sports. The Giants, the Jets, the Yankees, the Mets, the Knicks, the Nets.
The Sets.
The Sets.
The Arrows.
The Arrows, the Sets. Everybody wins. You get a win. You get a win. You get a win. Except for the Ranger rookies.
Yes. What, it was the first time, since 2009 or something? That they all won in the same day? Cutter posted some shit.
First time since 2009.
Wow.
But, which is all fine and good. I'm glad it's all kumbaya in New York. But let's be honest. Did the Jets give a flying fuck that the Giants won yesterday on the same day?
The Giants don't care
Did the Yankees give a shit that the Mets won yesterday and vice versa? Of course not. Nobody cares. Moving on.
Yeah.
The Mets hanging by a thread. The Jets are 1-0. A minute and 10 seconds. They're down by 2 touchdowns. The Brownie, the elf, is celebrating. And what's his name? What's his name? Richard Todd says, nah. He hits Johnny Lamb Jones. And then he's hitting Wesley Walker and Al Toon coming out of the Freeman McNeil. And the Jets, Jets. Snatch
Call for
victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, big deal.
That was impressive. Hey, look, I gotta take my hat off.
You little
The jet skis. That's a
I mean, they did come back, but come on. I mean, they never do that. So that, I guess, kudos for that they actually don't ever come back and win a game. So yay. beating that big bad Browns team.
They're taking receipts over there at one Jets way.
Now everybody's all over him. Like now they're praising him. I like him. He's a tough coach. Everybody was killing him all week. I mean, hey, listen, if you're tipping the cap to the Jets, I guess I'll tip the cap. I'm just waiting for some next catastrophe to happen. So let's see. Hold on. I'm getting a
These are
Facebook.
not expected to be great seasons for either of these teams. So if you are, enjoy it while you can.
No, I don't have the COVIDitis, but I got a negative test, but I'm still feeling under the weather. Costa.
Do me a favor. Somebody that is watching on YouTube, please post the YouTube link in the chat for me, please. Please, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. So, yes, here we are. We've got hockey started over the weekend. The New York Rangers came to Allentown, Pennsylvania, right here in the backyard of the.
Well, I was thinking about how this would go. I want to ask you questions. Like you are an ace reporter, and I feel like I mean, you're very wanted all over the internet. So people want to interview you. They want to get to know you. They want to get to know you. They want to be close to you.
Yeah, they interview me, and the first question they ask is, "So what's Eddie Geik really like?"
Like
what's it like to do a show with Eddie Geik?
The real mokes. That's a word. Oh my!
That's a honeymooner's word right there.
What? Oh, mokes. Yeah,
I'm a mokes.
I'm a mokes. What is a mokes? I know what a lummox is. A mokes. It's got to be some kind of colloquialism. I don't know. I just like. I don't know. I'm thinking. My brain's all over the place today. I'm thinking about Lance Alito and this stuff. Well, let me get my card catalog, my cards, like that guy did on, Matt's talking about inside the Actors Studio. Chris, to meet you're a Bills fan, huh? It's rough. Bills are really tough. Fans are tough on the Jets, even before the Bills got good. Okay, anyway, so our original plan is I was supposed to join. These plans got totally, and I was supposed to join Jim at least for one of the games, but then all of a sudden I got like some cataclysmic illness. I have no idea. So I mean, not really, but just like debilitating. Grumpy Ed was out in full force. Is not having a good time. All right. So Jim goes, he lets me know, and I couldn't make it. And I wish I could have been. I think I would have added a little more snarl, as they say. But all right, so you get to this arena. You've been to this arena. It was held at the PPL Center in Allentown. Is it in
Allentown? Yes, in picturesque downtown Allentown, Pennsylvania. The same one that Billy Joel sang about.
Okay. And when you say picturesque, I think you're saying that.
I don't mean picturesque.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So you guys went down there. I mean, you went down there.
As Cartman once said.
And first and foremost, there was no, did you see any Ranger media, brass, anything down there?
I really thought, and I did several tours of the arena, just kind of walking around, trying to take it all in, seeing what I could see. And I saw not one member of this organization. I really thought they'd be there. I thought there'd be a couple of people milling around.
You didn't see what's his face in his laptop there? What's his name, that guy? He used to work with the MSG, the website.
Oh, Jim Cerny?
Yeah, Jim Cerny. Is he still with us?
he's still with us, and he's still alive. But I don't even think he covers the Rangers anymore. I think he works for the Hockey News or something like that.
Oh God.
There was the only thing I saw was one guy who worked for the Rangers. He was wearing Ranger gear and he was taking pictures. Now, what those pictures were for, I have no idea, because from what I've been told, I didn't actually confirm this, but from what I was told, there was absolutely no mention of this on Rangers social media. There was no mention of this.
Well, nobody's interested in the future. I mean, why? I mean,
Nah,
well,
it's all about now.
they got some new JB
Why
Smooth
talk about
show
the future?
on?
We could bring Stefan Matteau out for another wave,
Another group picture with fucking
another group shot,
Richter and oh God. Okay, so you didn't see any. I thought maybe Torts would be hanging around. He's involved with
Nothing.
Philadelphia. Nothing.
The Rangers were coached by Chris Knobloch.
Oh, we like Chris, right? He's had a he's a pretty good record with as a Ranger coach during the COVIDia times.
When Quinn was down with the COVIDs.
Oh, David Quinn, Joe.
And everybody wanted him fired because the Rangers won like 3 games.
Yeah.
Replace him with Knobloch.
Well,
who would do a better job at handling the kids, apparently, but not these kids this weekend, because these kids this weekend look terrible for the most part.
No, they're probably kind of just thrown together. I think Traverse City still went on, didn't it? Or something. I think this is just.
I think Traverse City went on, but without the Rangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Rangers have gone. It's very expensive, that area. The Rangers never do well in that tournament. They never win. So they just figured, well, we'll play the Flyers twice. We will get a split. So, all right. So you're there. It looked like, it was, for a prospect game, it looked like it was, decently attended. I mean, not everybody is into the future.
The arena was probably maybe half full both nights. Lots of Ranger fans, as you would expect. Probably more Ranger fans at Saturday's game than Friday's game, which made sense. Saturday, was an early game. It was 5:00. You make the day trip. The game's over at 7:30, 8:00, or in the Rangers' case, in this game, 5:15. and you're home by 10, 11 o'clock, and call it a day. So I thought Saturday's game was a little better attended by Ranger fans.
Yeah, because Saturday, did something on a day.
Right. It's a day out. It's a day out in the countryside. You go to picturesque downtown Allentown.
I feel like I'm seeing the video for that Billy Joel video right in my head, with the train pulling in at the beginning.
Right. The guys working in the factory.
People want to know, how much were the tickets? I saw you had very good tickets. This is the home of the Philly Phantoms, right?
Well, from what I understand, tickets were anywhere between $12 and $20, being the VIP that Eddie and I are. Of course, we were comped.
Of course.
Owner's suite. No, I'm just kidding. Tickets were $20. And the first game, I sat on the corner right next to where the Rangers came out, right next to their tunnel. So I got some cool pictures that night. And then the second night, I sat over. I misjudged where these seats would be. I thought they would be behind the Rangers bench. Turned out they were behind the Flyers bench. But I wound up moving anyway, because I'm sitting there, and I promise I'll get to the players in a minute. But I'm sitting there, and now Eddie was supposed to be with me, so I'm on the aisle seat. Eddie's seat is empty. There's a group sitting in next to where Eddie would have been sitting, a guy and a girl and maybe their daughter or something. I don't remember. And then we're sitting there, and the game starts, right? And we're like 2 minutes into the game. And here comes the family. The father, the soccer mom, the soccer mom's mother, the 5 fucking kids, each with their food. And when do they come and sit down? Not at the stoppage. while the play's going on. So now I got this whole fucking family
Oh,
passing in front of me, and they all got the food, and they're all doing the sideways shuffle because they all got their food in their hand. Meanwhile, there's a game going on. I'm just sitting there. Right. And the whole and then the kid drops his hamburger on the ground. And he's literally just standing there in front of me, staring at his hamburger on the ground like it's going to jump back up into his little burger basket.
Right. It's got to rewind.
So finally, here comes mom, and she's shuffling in, and the kids are shuffling in. And he's like, drop my burger, and she's yelling at him, and he's yelling at her, and the father's yelling at the kid, and yelling at the mother, and the mother.
Like the family circle.
Meanwhile, now we've moved into the third period. I mean, these rookies are now 5-year vets. I mean, come on. So after the first period, I went over. I talked to Brian Attard and his lovely wife and their son and their son Jaden. I talked to them for a little while, or excuse me, Braden. And then I went and I found different seats, and I sat all by myself up in the top of one of these sections where there was nobody. And I'm in this row, and there's nobody in front of me. There's nobody behind me. There's nobody next to me. I got a wall behind me so I could just stand up and watch the action if I wanted to. None of this. Oh, the older I get, the harder it is to just be around people. It really is.
Trust me. I mean,
and there were lots of Flyers fans there. And these fucking cretins, these subhuman morons who have had nothing to cheer about for years. It's just stupid. I mean, I understand. Look, I mean, this is a kid's game. I mean, to me, and these guys are just sitting there screaming at the Rangers and heckling them and cursing.
They're not even Rangers yet.
You're garbage. I'm like, these are, look, I'm the first one to pull out, to go and reach into my bag of heckle tricks, even with my own team. But this felt like going to a high school game and heckling the kids. I mean, these are kids. These are 18-year-old guys who a lot of them will never, ever see the NHL. This was their one and only time in a Rangers jersey, unless they're buying one from Fanatics.
Right.
But these fucking cretins, I mean,
How old were these people?
How old were the hecklers?
The hecklers.
Oh, Flyer fans of all ages. There was a group sitting behind the goal down on the end where the Rangers shot twice. And they were sitting behind the Rangers goaltender, in the second period, in the second game specifically, when the Flyers scored a couple of goals. And I mean, it was just constant. They're just sitting the entire game, just sitting there screaming. And just, I mean, I'm like, this is a meaningless game. 18-year-old kids, like, are you that low? I mean, come on. I mean, I sink to lows in my time.
No,
and I say things.
You gotta pick your spots. It's a meaningless game.
And I let my mouth run off, and I say things. And again, I am the first one to go to my heckle bag. But
right.
And I've said some just god awful things to players heckling them. But I mean, come on, these are 18-year-old kids. I mean, these kids are going to be bagging groceries in Latvia. Some of them in weeks.
Yeah. How much hatred have you built up for like Zach Jones?
Right. Not even Zach Jones. These guys couldn't pick Zach Jones out of a lineup. I mean, I'm talking about like Ty Emberson or Talon Boyko, the goaltender.
I love that guy.
Who didn't do much goaltending.
Wow. Well, Matt, I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, I think we learned that even our fan base has its people. I think there's that idiot element in all the fan bases.
Absolutely.
I just feel like the inbred factor with the Islander fan and the Devil fan, perhaps. No, not the Devil fan. Although I have my Flyer fans, we know Philadelphia's got a rep. So yeah. All right. So okay. So all right, you have the people there, and these cretins, the infirmed are out there.
No, I wouldn't heckle an 18-year-old Islander because in a rookie fucking game that means nothing. No, I'm not gonna. No. What? How could I? Like Eddie just said, to expand on that. what 18-year-old kid that plays for that's an Islander prospect could I have possibly built up any animosity towards, other than his jersey that he might never wear again? I don't get it. If it's no.
No,
I'm not gonna go heckle some kid fresh out of high school.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
who was at his
emotionally
prom 3
invested
weeks
in this.
ago.
You're not emotionally invested in the game.
Right.
Or I mean, they're wearing a uniform you don't like, but that's about it.
Right.
And did Samuel Narova impress?
Former
Minnesota Wild and New York Rangers?
Unavailable.
Unavailable. Okay. All right. Well, let's get down to the skinny. Let's get down to beeswax here. Who impressed and who depressed?
Let's start with the bad.
Okay.
And the bad would be the goaltending. Dylan Garand, who is pretty highly touted, and you've heard Russ Cohen.
He played with Team Canada in the World Juniors, correct?
Believe so. Who you've heard Russ Cohen highly tout on this program, and I did see Russ, by the way, on Friday. He was at Friday night's game. And he played the first period of game 1 and played well. Didn't get tested too badly, but did play well. And then he was pulled, and Talon Boyko played the rest of the game. And then on night 2, second round pick Olaf Lindbaum got the start, Eddie.
I heard he got bombed.
And got bombed. Bombed.
Bad goals?
Flyers had no shots on goal for the first 13 and a half minutes of the first period on Saturday night. First shot on goal goes in. Then they on their fourth shot on goal, it was 2-0. And then it was they had a 4-0 lead with 10 shots on goal. And Olaf was out of there.
It's true. Awfully, maybe these guys. He was talking about the kids. This is about the only game they could afford, $20. So they were acting like assholes, maybe.
Quite possibly. And Lindbaum was yanked, and Boyko was put back in, and he was. I guess he marginally stopped the bleeding, but by then it was too late. The damage had been done, and the final score Saturday night was 5-1. Friday's game, they lost 2-1 in overtime. I wasn't even sure if there would be an overtime. There was no.
You pulled a Sam? What am I watching here? Joe, can you explain this to me?
Joe, did I miss something here, Joe? I didn't know. You don't know some of these exhibition games. If they're going to play in overtime, does anybody really care? They're going to do a shootout. Nobody.
Yeah, right.
But the game ended, and the players stayed on the ice. The next thing you know, there was 3-on-3 overtime. And the Rangers won the opening faceoff, took the puck down to the Flyers' end of the ice, got a shot on goal. Flyers goalie stopped the puck, and it was a faceoff, which the Rangers lost. Philly came right down the other end of the ice, scored, game over. Good night, everybody. Get home safe. Run for your lives out of picturesque downtown Allentown.
Gunshots.
And that was it. Saturday night, like I told you, that game, the Rangers only had, last I remember looking, and this was late in the third period on Friday's game, they only had like 15 shots on goal. They just didn't get a lot going in either one of these games. Second night, the Saturday night game, they did get a lot of shots on goal. They were out shooting the Flyers at one point. I think it was 10-0 when the Flyers got their shot on goal that went in. I think most of the game they outshot the Flyers, but just couldn't get anything going. And they wound up getting their goalie took them right out of it on Saturday night.
Let me ask you this.
Olaf, you can keep the jersey and remember fondly your 2 nights in picturesque Allentown, Pennsylvania. Your services will no longer be required.
Wow, we can't.
Didn't they trade up to get this guy in the second round?
Well, let's not get too. I mean, it's only
enough. I've seen enough.
Okay,
I've seen enough.
I trust your judgment.
Well, okay, maybe he had a bad night, but we've heard nothing in the last 3 years since they drafted this guy to give us any reason to hope that this guy is anything more than a bum. And you know,
maybe hit
it's
that
not like-
Allentown nightlife.
Yes, I'm sure he was hanging out at Club Tricks in picturesque downtown Allentown. And you know, it's not like he was playing against NHLers in a preseason game. He was playing against the Flyers' 18-year-old kids. You know, this was a pretty even, level playing field, as they say.
Did you question Knobloch about not starting Shesterkin? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, security
Shesty
was
has to
asked,
play every game.
I was asked to remove myself after heckling. No, I'm just kidding. No, I couldn't. I didn't go over. I got over by the Rangers bench.
Did you go fanboy, try to get a stick, have your girlfriend,
I
soon
did not try any of
fiance,
that.
try to get a
I
stick,
I
beg,
took my pictures. I took some
beggar's
video.
banquet.
I took some video of warm up, which I shared with the groups.
Okay.
And I took as many pictures as I could, and then I went to my seat.
Now, Jim, tell me about this guy. I saw the picture. The Rangers have a 6'7" prospect.
9.
6'9".
6'9". Matt Rempe, who I am coining the phrase. You heard it here first. When fucking Blue New York and Forever Blue Shirts and all those other ones that sell the t-shirts, when they put Rempenstein on a t-shirt, remember you heard it here first. Rempenstein.
6'9", a protected first-round pick. I'm not. I have heard this parlance in the NBA. What is a protected first-round pick? Educate me.
A protected first-round pick?
Apparently, this is Rock. The two guys, one cup, always a little bit ahead of the curve than we are. Know what these things are.
Look at the size of this. Look at the size of this.
Oh my God! Look at this guy.
He's
He looks
mammoth.
like he can't skate for shit. He's all
He's
hunched
not a bad
over.
skater.
He's all hunched over.
And I think it's awesome that they had the largest guy on the ice and the shortest guy on the ice, and that's Bobby Trevino, the Italian Pinto.
You had a little good things to say about Bobby.
I did. I like his game. We're gonna talk about him a little bit. He was one of the guys that did impress me. Hang on, I keep juggling here between my two, trying to get my screens set up.
Hello, Mark. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, Mark. So anyway, there we go. Yeah, so Matt Rempe, 6'9". I was talking to Russ about him. Russ said he's added a little offense to his game.
Wow.
And look, I think he's a 5th-round pick. So, who knows? But whatever. He is one of the guys I will be keeping an eye on after watching him this weekend.
Could you tell if he was faster than Ryan Reeves?
Eddie, you're faster than Ryan Reeves.
Oh, boy.
With Costa on your back and your skates untied.
Oh, come on now. It's funny, first edition of the new hockey cards came out for the 22-23 season, and I opened the packs with my wife. It's a whole big thing. And I go, we do the ceremony. We go through every name in the pack, every guy. And every time I get a Ranger, I still get a little excited. I got Ryan Reeves. I go, this fucking guy. I threw the card across the room. I've never been so angry at a hockey card in my life. So I was just like, wow. So Adam Enstrom, this is another big guy.
Another big boy, yes.
Did he play?
Yeah. Yep. Played both games.
Oh, how did he look?
Not good.
How do you say not good?
Not good. He got, I believe he got beaten badly on one of the goals. And I seem to remember him making a costly turnover.
Well, welcome to the team.
Right. Another guy I was impressed with was Maxim Barbashev.
I'm high on this guy. He's Ivan Barbashev's bro.
Another later round pick. Very physical. I believe I believe and he's not a big guy. I'm getting text. Nils Lundqvist has been traded to Dallas for a first-round pick.
Oh, wow.
What are we? Whoa, what's going on here? Breaking news all over my phone here.
Oh, my God.
Can't get on. Oh, Brian Attard can't get on, but Lundqvist to Dallas. And Rock also. Nils Lundqvist has been traded to Dallas for a first-round pick per Larry Brooks.
In what draft?
2020.
Doesn't matter. You know what? That's a steal.
I don't protected. That's what they were saying. Protected first-round pick. Maybe does that mean that it's not a first-round pick if it's a lottery pick? Is that what protected means? I really don't know. So, but I see there'll be a Sean McCaff has begun his 15-page blog on the Nils Lundqvist trade as we speak.
He's got to add it to the book. It's a late edition.
Right. Stop the presses. There'll be a revise.
Get out of here, you bum. You didn't want to play. You didn't. At that guy, we got Patrick Nemeth there to teach you fucking Swedish, you meatball.
Right.
Meanwhile, we were stuck with fucking Nemeth. Exactly, John McLaughlin. God bless you.
Bye.
It is a victory for Drury, Rollo. Very, very well said.
What is this now? Did Steve Vogel get 8 of his jerseys too? This guy's a complete curse. Anybody he gets stinks.
Somebody was getting on him on Twitter the other day.
Every guy he promotes doesn't play, and then it went out. Come on, Steve. Follow some goddamn Americans.
Oh, here you go. Brett Anderson. Thank you, Brett. Okay, so we're kind of on the right track. If it's a top 10 pick this year, the pick rolls over to 2024 with no restrictions.
Oh, okay. I get it. Thank you, Brett.
So what you need to hope for is that Dallas is bad this year.
It might be, but I think
it's like a number 9 pick.
Number 9.
They're really bad the year after. Right?
Yep.
Like that's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dallas, I don't think they've signed Jason Robertson. They'll be they'll be okay. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but what the fuck do I know? I just know that Nils Lundqvist toodles, just like Costa says, you don't want to play with the greatest organization in hockey, then I don't want you on my team.
Larry Brooks also says there could be another component coming to New York.
Wow, a component.
Doesn't say what.
What could become the Rangers have no cap room for a component?
Brett Hull.
Why is everybody high? Why would you get number 1 pick? Brett Hull. Mike Madonna is coming to the Rangers. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Mark Tenorti, Jeff Tenorti's father from Dallas. I don't know. I know I never saw anything from Lundqvist. He's like the Tim Erickson, like one of these highly touted guy that was just like Tort said about Tim Erickson. I remember he said it like
I don't understand. I don't see it or something like that. Right?
You got to admire Torts for a player to be named later.
Choo Choo Coleman.
Chico Escuela. Baseball been very, very good to me. Yeah, so that's interesting. Why we were on the air, bro?
While we're on the air.
I mean,
thank you to our group for helping us break the news.
Yeah, you guys were
our
top
peeps.
notch. I think so. I can't for the life of me see what's going on with that guy. So, no, Patrick Nemeth did not help. That's the understatement of the year. So that guy's gone. Pat Price, another number 6, former Islander.
And once Patrick Nemeth was gone, there was no reason to keep Nils Lundqvist, right?
Well, I will tell you, I was not happy with this guy. And listen, he could turn out to be a good player. I don't know. He's got to gain some weight. But I don't know.
He turns out to be a good player. We'll trade for him in the next rebuild.
Right.
There's
just no room. There's no room for the Rangers right now.
Wait.
On the Rangers. We're so stacked.
Chef Rod, Dino Cicerelli.
Oh God, Dino, drop your pants, Dino, drop your pants. An old chant from back in the day.
I mean, the Rangers have two. There are two, maybe three, possibly, depending on what scouting reports you read. There are two or three defensemen right now in the pipeline who all played this weekend at the rookie tournament that could be NHL defensemen. So, they've got Zach Jones, who everyone is clamoring for, who, by the way, is a lot smaller in person than I expected.
Yes, he's not a big guy.
He's not a big guy. He's Adam Fox sized, if I had to make a comparison.
Okay. At least he isn't Samantha Fox size.
Depends on what size you're talking about. Well,
Whoa.
actually, if he had Samantha Fox's breasts, I guess we'd have a problem, right?
Really? What's Samantha Fox's song? What was her song? I want to have some fun. I think I heard my wife say that. Oh, naughty girls need love too.
That's it.
That's also Costa's theme.
That's his theme song.
Yeah, Zach is not a big dude.
Not a big guy.
They want to know about what's it, Matt Robertson?
Matt Robertson scored the Rangers' only goal on Friday night, which I believe was. See, Don Cordoza came in with "Touch Me," which is what I thought it was, but then you were so confident in "Naughty Girls Need Love Too," and your wife is an '80s music connoisseur,
right?
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. Anyway, Matt Robertson scored the Rangers' only goal in Friday night's game. It was a power play goal.
It's oh my God, that's fucking stuff.
And so he looked pretty good. I thought defensively, I didn't think I thought a couple of the guys played well. Zach Jones was one of them. Zach Jones was captain for the weekend. And
wow.
I also found out that the Rangers told Zach Jones that he did not have to participate in this tournament, but he asked to play,
good.
Which I thought was cool. So yeah, I thought he played well. Hunter Skinner was there. He's one of the other guys that they they think might be an NHL player someday. And Brandon Scanlon also played on defense. Luca Heno. I don't know how you say his last name, but he probably doesn't know how to say my last name, so fuck it.
Was the Othman prophecy there?
The Othman prophecy was there. Looked okay at times. Got in a couple of little scrums, nothing serious. Just
he's got a little bit of an edge. That guy. He's even said it in interviews.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Will Cooley, he was one of the first line.
How big did he look? Did he look firm? Did he look fit?
He's a good sized kid. Rangers were out on the power play and they were using him at the point, which I'm gonna attribute this to Russ Cohen. This was not my thought because obviously I don't know nearly
He's
as much.
replacing Panarin at the point.
I don't know anything about these guys just from what I see, but Russ said, why are they using Will Cooley at the point? He has no wrist shot. He doesn't belong at the point. He should be in front of the net. And he's a big guy. He's a Kreider type guy. He should be in front of the net, swatting at the puck. So Russ said that was a misuse of his talents.
How dare he question Knobloch?
That's Russ's job.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have no idea why. Probably that there probably was nothing behind it. Like they just I don't know. I mean, if he makes the team, he's not going to be playing the point anyway. So what's the sense even putting him out there?
Right.
I mean, if he makes the team, he's going to make it as a fourth liner, and I hope he does make the team. I like the kid, but I got to see more. Right now I've limited exposure to the Cooley man.
So, as far as guys that stood out to me, Rempe, mainly because he's 6'9", it's hard not for him to stand out. A little bit of Adam Sikora. I like. He's kind of.
Is this his first appearance with anybody?
Yeah. Well, this is his first appearance in a Rangers jersey. So.
All right. So what'd you like about him?
He's good skating. I think he was playing on the first line as well. I think he was on the first line with Cooley and Trevino, maybe, or Othman and Trevino. Hard to. I think that's what it was. But another guy I think Ranger fans would like is Bobby Trevino, the Italian Pinto. Guy's he's pesky. He's in every, he's pesky.
Right.
He's the type of guy, if his size doesn't hinder him. I mean, he's tiny. He's tiny.
But he's got the motor and he's in all the action.
He's Zook tiny. I mean, he is a very small guy.
They want the Italian music from one of your I-Type friends.
But he's a mosquito. He's all over the place.
Oh,
he was in the middle of a couple of scrums. Now let's face it, he's Italian. He's got red pepper flakes up his ass. It's like as Tony Soprano once said. So, it was fun to see some of these guys. I got some video I could show you.
Yeah, let's see it. I want to see what.
Let's see.
You got any pictures of that family that was in front of you there? You make
No, I didn't take pictures of the family.
I saw Mandar last week, by the way.
Now these are what's that?
I saw Mandar last week.
Did you? Mandar lives.
Yeah, he was really having a good time.
Stop it.
Number 4.
He was having a good time.
Yeah,
Is that possible? He was winning. Was he winning at trivia? I mean,
his wife wasn't there.
Ah, gotcha.
Nah, we were just going down the old memory lane there, and he was enjoying it. All right, let's see some of this video, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's no particular rhyme or reason here. It's just some video that I took, and actually, hold on.
Wait, you say 1973 or something? 75?
Oh, yes. So yeah, at least a little breakaway there. Yeah. And then I think this was let's see. This was after a brief scrum. I don't think there was anything going on here. Oh, by the way, let me see if I can get him on camera here. Can you see this guy right here with the black hat on backwards?
Oh yeah.
Sitting in the set. He was part of the group, him and the fat tub of shit in front of him with the crew cut. They were two of the guys. They were there both nights and all night long.
You had to hear them.
Yes, you could hear them clear as day.
It's all about me, and you're not funny.
Okay.
Meanwhile, one of these kids in their first entry level entry level is going to make more money than they're making their whole life.
Okay, so here's another video, and I don't think you can hear it here, but this kid that's with them, that's standing up behind the glass, he was as foul-mouthed as the rest of them, and that kid didn't look a day over 10 years old. They are just subhuman cretins. Oh, look how tough I am from behind the car. Look how tough I am. This guy is at every game I've ever been to.
Really? Is he a stalker?
He's at every game. There is Boyko.
Boyko looks a little smaller in that picture, at least.
Oh,
can't tell.
Hang on. Let me try. Hold on. Where was the? I thought I had video of the fight. I gotta find it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. There's Boyko again.
Boyko.
There's Brendan Othman's stick behind the bench there.
Ooh,
he was the only one. He's the only one that had his name on his stick. That's the benefit of being a first round pick, right?
Yeah, he's a big time
Here
player.
they are coming out of the tunnel. Hey, Bobby! Every time I saw Bobby Trevino, all I did was yell, hey, Bobby!
I really, you got it. You're effective for the Italian players, really. What's that guy's job? Make sure they got safely to the arena, to the rink.
Now, this guy here with the camera that you were asking me about, he's the only guy I saw other than like the training staff. He was the only Ranger employee that I saw, and all he was doing was taking pictures. And this guy,
Newman,
this guy, Artie Lang.
Artie Lang. Wow, he's got some. He's got a Grandpa Lewis look going with that.
I guess was that he was very upset that this girl didn't bring him a gelato. And obviously,
like
that's
he could
his
skip
father
a
sitting next
gelato
to
once in a while.
Grandpa Hal. There you go.
Pissed. There we go. Oh, look at it.
Nice picture of
Kempenstein.
Rempenstein. There he is.
Zach Jones, the captain.
Oh, here's the fight. Here we go.
Who's this? Oh, that's good.
That was what was his Jaden Gruby or Groob. I think it's Gruby. That was him. Got into a fight. And let's see if I had anything else here. Rempy. Nope, going backwards. And that's just the lineups. Oh, there's Dylan Garand getting ready for come out on the ice. There's the Italian Pinto.
You're really loving that guy.
Rempenstein.
Yeah,
again. Right. Oh, and these guys cracked me up. They actually got on screen with that sign that said "Fired Chuck Fletcher," the Flyers GM, and the place went crazy. They were really nice guys.
Yeah, I told you they're good fans out there, but they're rare.
Yeah.
When you can make fun of your own team, then you're right, cool with me. Absolutely. I mean, we've been doing that for years.
Right.
Years.
So I got some good, but there's a lot more, but I tried to pick out the
I wish I would have been there because I think we would have came up, and you did great, but we could have come up more bits. But could ask those two guys about Pelly Lindbergh. I don't know, those guys might not even remember Pelly Lindbergh. Jesus,
right.
So long ago. All right, good. That's good stuff. And I'm trying to digest the Steelers Lundqvist trade. I think I've digested already.
I'm over it. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, and let's talk about the unforgivable crime of the Rangers not re-signing Tyler Mott. Some of the fan base is not happy that Tyler Mott decided to go to Ottawa for 1.3, 1.5, whatever he went. Rangers couldn't afford him. And I don't know what you think about it, but I think it's just the Rangers are not interested in Tyler Mott as much as they are with Sammy Blais, as they really want to take a look at Sammy Blais. He's that type of player
what kind of contract did I saw the money? Was it a one? You
I
got a
think it was a
1 year
one-year
deal.
deal. I'm not exactly sure.
Well, I think the Rangers, specifically Chris Drury, made it pretty clear very early on that he was going to price himself out of what they wanted to spend, and I get that. Hey, look, I liked him. I think I liked him more than anybody.
Yeah.
I love this game, but you can there's only so much money to go around, and there's a lot more money that's going to be spent in the years to come. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
They've got to fill some other holes.
Unfortunately, we fell in love with a lot of these guys during the playoff run.
Right.
Frankie the Rifle, Cop to a degree, certainly the regular season, and even some in the playoffs was good. We lost Ryan Strome, which most fans are happy about, and as far as I'm concerned, we milked that for as much as we could. And who was the other gentleman we lost? We lost the defenseman whose name I can't remember.
Justin Braun.
Justin Braun.
He went back to Philly.
Yeah.
So we could get him again next year.
Yeah.
He could be back for the next playoff run. It's entirely possible.
Why not?
As far as Ryan Strome goes, I it's not that I was happy to see him go. I mean, he was a good Ranger for a couple of years, but it's time to move on. They had to get better at that position, and I think they did. Did they overspend for Trocheck? Well, time will tell.
I mean, I've been, parsing what everybody, taking the temperature of the so-called other teams.
Rectally?
Experts. What?
Rectally?
The only way I like it.
That's how you get the best results.
I use the heated KY when I do it.
Gotta go right to the horse's mouth.
Yes.
Results.
For the romantic enhancement of the whole thing. So the people are saying the Rangers really made a good acquisition in Trocheck, that he's better than people think. And he's good. Well, we know he's better on faceoffs, so that's a huge problem. I guess people worry about whether the chemistry will be there with Panarin. I would arguably say that Panarin makes everybody look so good.
We didn't know he'd have any chemistry with Ryan Strome until it happened.
Right.
I mean, was anybody worried about Panarin's chemistry with Ryan Strome before he got? I mean, nobody said, "Oh, can he? Oh, my God, we're bringing in Panarin. Can he play with Ryan Strome?"
Right. Yeah.
You put them together, you figure it out. Chemistry. To build it.
Right.
Send them bowling. Send them on team building.
Bowling.
Get them dropping water balloons off the Chrysler building. They'll bond. They'll figure it out. They're professionals.
I think Trocheck is definitely an upgrade over Strome. I mean, not as he's just an all. Was he? Are you being sarcastic, Rock? I don't think Rock likes Trocheck.
Rock hates the Trocheck move. Hates it.
Well,
but Rock got his way with Jacob Trouba.
But he took a beating, though, the first 2 years.
He did. He took it like a man, and he's still standing.
He also did not like Ryan Reeves at all. The slowest man in the NHL, I remember him saying.
He's not wrong.
Well, Rock, I wish you'd come on the show and maybe tell me why you don't like Trocheck. Or say in the chat room, I respect your opinion. What do you guys think? I respect your opinion. I mean, that's true. He was a non-factor. He's not. Is he supposed to be a factor? Isn't Jonathan Huberdeau supposed to be a factor? I mean,
that entire team was a non-factor in the play.
All right. What do you think, Jim? I mean, you were a
playoff dud, the whole team. I mean, I don't know. I'm not.
You're not going to saddle him with that?
No.
What about
everybody wants to saddle Panarin with it?
Oh,
Well, not
yeah.
not everybody. Not everybody.
Oh,
I'll say
my
it.
God. This is something. Rockets just said, I love Trocheck as much as I like football. And that, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen, that's wow. Well, hey, listen, I'll have to tune into your podcast, and you take calls on that show, I'll rip you a new one. This is the greatest signing ever.
I believe their show is pre-recorded.
Oh, okay. Wow. Have me on as a guest. I'll rip.
Actually, no. Well, they've been doing live video, I think. So I don't know. Maybe you're gonna go on there. You're gonna go on there and rip them. Really?
I'm gonna no, I would never do that. But I would joke around with him and be like, well, I don't know. This guy might be in the Art Ross next year. You know, we'll see.
I have.
How could you judge Trocheck? How much have you seen of him? I mean, maybe you're more into hockey than I am because it's your only sustenance sports wise. You do like baseball. He does like baseball. He's a Yankee fan, right?
He likes the Yankees. Nothing comes before hockey, though.
No. Well, hockey's the greatest sport that was ever invented. So, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows? He's usually right. Is he better than Grachev?
The Russian rifle.
The Russian rifle. Okay, so we got that. A lot of people. Here's a question, a general hockey question for you guys. How you? Oh yeah, we'll get into that. Or maybe not. Well, I'm gonna come on as I'm gonna have Trocheck's father come on and whip you into shape. Okay, so anyway, what I wanted to talk about was now that Florida, they shit the bed in the playoffs, right? And he's gonna call. Give him the link. Well, while we're trying to work with Rock here, I wanted to talk about now that Florida didn't do well. Do you think the fans are going to come back next year? You're a former Florida resident. We have some former Florida guys here. Do you think the Kitty Nation there is going to be back, or?
We'll see. They've undergone some changes, but I mean, they're still going to be a good team. They're still going to be formidable.
Yeah, I guess they're going to weigh heavy on that goalie Spencer Knight, since Bobrovsky's. I don't know what's going on with him. His shelf life may be over, but
he stinks. I have two other quick stories from the game.
Go ahead.
From the games this weekend. Very quick. So I was tweeting some stuff while the game's going on, and I got a tweet from a gentleman named whose name is John Pacini, and it turns out that John is also a Rangers and Giants and Mets fan, and literally lives about 3 streets down from me.
Wow,
So he was at the game Saturday night. I got to meet him, and then I was talking to him and his son Jacob a little bit on Twitter, and he's also a Mets fan. So John said he was going to tune in tonight because John is of our age, I'll say. So John, if you're watching, howdy neighbor, howdy ho.
God bless you.
Enjoying the show. And then the last thing I will share this is from Friday night's game. I'm sitting in my seat and I look over and I see this kid, young kid, and he's wearing a Rangers jersey. And I'm looking at the jersey and I'm like, that kid's wearing a Chris Kotsopoulos jersey?
Yeah.
And I even had to, I'm like,
that's Connor.
And I'm like, I said, and I had to, I'm like, is that even, was that his number 24? So I real quick looked him up on Hockey Reference.
That was Ryan Callahan.
I thought it was, but yes, that is his number. So I went walking over these people after the first period. And I said, excuse me, I said, but I have to ask because I've never seen one before. I said, how did you wind up with a Chris Kotsopoulos jersey? So it turns out that they know him. Oh. They know Kotze. And somehow the kid met Kotze somewhere and they became friendly with him. And And this kid had the Kotze jersey specially made. And
Wow.
Kotze, good friend. Kotze lives up in the Poconos, not far from me. I thought, well, what if this is Kotze's family? And the next thing I'm going to see is Kotze come walking down and sitting with these people.
Oh boy.
I'd have to pull my hat down. I'm sitting there with my hood up.
Oh, big boy.
Kotze looks over, and here I am like this,
Yeah. Orson
sitting
Welles.
there like Emperor Palpatine.
Oh my,
So,
Faguzzi.
just a friend of Kotze's. What'd you say? Oh,
Ryan,
Faguzzi.
Mike, say, what do you do with that Faguzzi jersey?
Faguzzi. Oh man, so
Still makes me laugh. The Faguzzi. Hey,
What's
there
up,
he
Doc?
is.
What's up, boys? What's going
How
on?
are
How
ya?
you been?
Good, how you been?
I am doing good. I'm daddy daycare. My wife is on a business trip in San Francisco, so I have my kids alone for the first time for 3 days.
Oh man, so are they?
Yeah, this is my first moment of peace I've had since 6 a.m.
Oh
so
man,
yeah,
God
I'll
bless.
tell you, it ended out to be a pretty decent night though. The trade happened, so a little excited, a lot to talk about. So
yeah,
yeah,
well,
it's pretty cool.
I think that's a
Happy.
great deal for the Rangers.
Listen, Sean and I talked about it on the show. We said that, Drury is very patient. He's unfortunately, fortunately for us, but not to be compared to Lou Lamoriello. He's very patient. He was patient with Georgiev when, they didn't really have a market, but even though the goaltending market kind of blew up and they were trying to how to move him, with his contract and everything else. But he was a late first round pick, Nils Lundqvist, and they got a first round pick, which is obviously top 10 protected, which from what they're saying right now. And for what Vince just tweeted out that they think they got a fourth round pick as well. And we all know fourth round picks at the trade deadline were moved around like there was no tomorrow. So for them to add another fourth round pick, well, there's maybe another Tyler Mott trade at the trade deadline if that in fact is true. So it's a great move in general. I mean, he did a fantastic job for a guy that was definitely not going to play for them. So it's very good.
Coast is going nuts over there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yes. So tell me what they like. I don't want to have to attack you. Maybe I'll attack you on your own.
You can attack me. It's
No,
fine.
I don't.
He would
I
never.
come from a spot where is it the term that you're having a problem with?
I don't like Eddie, you've had guys in as a fan, and I'm sure Jim's the same, and I'm sure everyone in the chat room, you just don't like. There's just something about him. He has a punchable face, which is not the reason why I don't like him.
Chris Drury.
He's played on loser. He's played on loser franchises for the most part, in Florida and in Carolina. And I feel that Drury had a certain amount of money to spend because they're tied up when 7 guys take up 70% of their cap, something ridiculous like that. And they needed a guy to fit a certain money structure, not get the best guy available. I mean, you couldn't have told me JT Miller would have been a much better person, a much better player. Obviously, he would have come at a bigger number, but I think he's a better player. I think Mark Scheifele's a better player, but obviously both of those guys didn't get traded. So I just felt like they brought in a guy that, all right, well, he's better than Strome on faceoffs. Wonderful. Again, we're getting guys that are just like we used to get everyone who was going to be the quarterback for the power play. Kodalik, they're always trying to replace. So now they're trying to get guys that just can win faceoffs. So now is that the whole reason you brought this guy in, just so he can win faceoffs? It's essentially Ryan Strome, same numbers, same everything, except for he has better faceoff numbers. I think he kills penalties a little bit better. But again, that's not a reason to bring in a guy to play for 7 years and play second line center. He's not big. These guys get eaten up in the Eastern Conference, and I don't know. I don't like it. I felt like they just brought in a guy based off of what his salary was going to be, more so than is he actually a better player than the other guys that were out there. That's how I feel. And maybe I'm just being, ridiculous in a lot of ways.
You make some valid points. We're talking to Rock from Two Guys and One Cup podcast. Catch it. It's all the rage with the young kids nowadays.
Yeah, right.
And the people
Not us.
Nah, you guys.
There's so
rock.
many shows now, and,
Oh,
and
no.
Jim said it a million times. I mean, the amount of podcasts, and they're all the number one podcasts, every one of them. No matter what show you listen to, because I listen to a lot of shows because I want to get better. I want to learn. You guys were the staple. You guys allowed me to come on and kind of vent for a half hour and sometimes longer.
Yeah. Well,
And you guys have always been here. You've been the staple, and what people strive for as far as a podcast. So when I go on and I listen to these podcasts and I hear them number one podcast, I'm like, how can they all be the number one podcast? Like, what are you basing this off of?
Yeah,
it's incredible.
There's one that I've been seeing a lot of, and I'm not really on, other than occasionally, with Facebook. I'm not on Twitter much anymore. I try and avoid it at all costs.
Probably smart.
But so the one I'm on the most is Instagram, and I've been seeing these guys that constantly post on Instagram. And now, of course, they're usually one of the first things that come up. They're all over the place, but now, of course, I don't see them. Is this it? No.
Did they just have Molly Walker on today?
One. There's a Blue Seats Mafia.
Molly was on.
That's one of them. I forget the name of it now, but these guys they're constantly posting on Instagram something about the Ranger Brothers podcast and their Uncle Ed or something like that. I don't know.
I never even heard of that one.
Uncle Ed.
Now I can't.
I
can't remember the damn name of it.
I never even heard of that podcast.
I like to surf and see what's out there. You know what I'm saying? And some of it's total garbage, and some of it's okay. But I like things with personality. Like, you guys got personality. You get very invested in your opinions.
Yeah.
And that's how we are. And, right.
It's not healthy, though. It's definitely not healthy. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I had a friend after our last podcast. I lost it on the Tim Stutzel contract that he got 8 years and 8.3, whatever he got, 8.15 million from Ottawa based off of one good year, still on his entry-level contract. So this guy could fall off a cliff, and now he just blew the entire salary structure out for guys off an entry-level contract. So now what happens now with Lafreniere if he has a 60-point season or 58-point season like Stützle had? So now he's looking now for $8 million. So I completely lost it. And my friend texts me the next day. He goes, I'm just checking on you to make sure you're okay. Then make sure you're still alive, because you just lost it. And there's just certain things, like, you get so invested in this stuff, and it's not healthy. So I'm trying to, slowly,
don't worry about
the kids have mellowed me a lot. That's for sure. The kids have mellowed me a lot.
Rangers Ed Pod. 3 Eds, 1 podcast.
Wait a minute. That's just like they ripped off his name.
Your unofficial NYR podcast for all things Blue Shirts. No media affiliation. Listen on iTunes, Google, Spotify. Links below. I'm telling you, these guys are posting like every day.
What's going on?
Every day. I don't know if they're actually doing a podcast every day.
Yeah.
They're in Long Beach, Eddie. Next year, if we meet for breakfast, we'll find these guys. We'll throw down.
There you go.
Throw down what? Hamburgers? We're not throwing down. I'm kidding. My arms anymore.
Yeah.
But I mostly like to gravitate towards the ones that look like I'm looking for the ones I can make fun of, like Strokey and the Redhead, like those two.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
I'm gravitating towards the bad stuff so that I can goof on them. I do listen to Rock and Sean occasionally. I do listen to Brian Attard occasionally, but and this is just me, because I try and I don't want to let anybody else's opinions influence mine.
Oh, I'm
always afraid that if I listen too much to other shows, that it's going to affect what I say, how I say, what I do.
Yeah.
I always want it to be whatever I say, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether you think I'm smart or stupid, at least I want it to be mine. You know what I mean?
I get it. No, listen, that makes perfect sense.
And God's honest truth, it's the same reason why I could never be a stand-up comedian. I've had people tell me, "Oh, you're so funny, you should be on stage." No way, because I know I'd be up there 5 minutes and I'd be stealing from George Carlin unconsciously. Like, I would just start riffing something that I heard George Carlin say, and then or Seinfeld or or Jeff Foxworthy or somebody else I think is funny. I'm always afraid that I'll just be too easily influenced. As dumb as that
what it
sounds.
is? If
Definitely
I was
true.
doing a podcast in 1975 or 1980, say, I would be so up to speed on everything. But over the years, there's a lot of the stuff that I don't know, like the little intricacies about the salary cap and stuff. So I like to listen to other podcasts that people who know this stuff because, like the protected pick. I've heard it used in the NBA, but I had no idea what it was.
Usually the protected picks have now been like lottery picks. So when you hear protected, a lot of times it's usually top 3 protected. But I guess they changed the lottery slightly, from what I heard. I mean, again, I'm not 100% sure about that. So this one's top 10 protected. So, and this 2023 draft is supposedly extremely deep.
Okay.
So, it's an extra chip for the Rangers to play with, again, come the trade deadline, if they have to do
Draft
some other
another
things.
goalie.
Yeah, God.
Or another defenseman.
So
Yeah.
basically, your gripe with Trocheck is that it's almost like Drury got the guy that fit exactly.
He fit a number.
He fit
a
number.
salary. He fit a salary number that they needed to fit at. He didn't get the best player available.
Right.
He didn't get a guy that really moved the needle, and that was my problem. I look at Trocheck. I don't think of him as a second line center. I don't think he doesn't move the needle. He's not a 1-2 punch. Obviously we can't compare him to Malkin and Crosby, but he's not that 1-2 guy. He's not, to me, he's just not a huge upgrade over Ryan Strome. And you're bringing back essentially the same exact team, and you're praying that these young guys take the next step. Otherwise, you're holding on until the trade deadline again. That's essentially what you're doing.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the same thing they were hoping last year going into the season, was that all these young guys took that big leap, and really they didn't necessarily do that. What balanced it out was Chris Kreider doubling his career best in goals. I mean, that was really, that really kind of made up for it. I think everybody expected more from Kakko and Hedel and even Lafreniere during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Chris Kreider wound up making up for that. But, I think you're right. I think this year, they're hoping that those guys take the leap that they should have taken last year, really.
Yeah, I don't. I shake my head Sean and I
you
joke
worry
about this
too
all the time.
much. You worry
I
too much.
worry. You're right. The problem is, Eddie, we've had 2 lottery picks, right? In our history, we've had 2 solid lottery picks, and we can't ever get it's just like why can't we have the player that just steps in and lights the world on fire? Why is it that we're always waiting for this guy and always waiting for the guy to get better and hoping and praying and this and that and the other thing, especially the forward.
Yeah,
we've got the defenseman. We had Leach. We had Lundqvist. We drafted, Lundqvist was a 7th round pick, but we drafted the great defenseman and the great goalie. When are we going to draft the great forward? How many years has it been? Have the Rangers don't have one Hall of Fame, have never drafted a Hall of Fame forward. In how many years? I mean, I don't know if Kovalev's ever going to go get to the Hall of Fame, but he's probably the best forward the Rangers have ever drafted. Like, when are they going to draft that stud superstar forward that's here for 15 years?
And most of his
it never happens.
Okay, I get it.
It's just frustrating. I remember when I've said this a million times. When Kakko was drafted, I was shaking when they got that pick. You guys were on the air with Joe. I was shaking. Like, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. Can't miss. Well, as of right now, Trevor Zegras, who was drafted how many slots later, already is a better player than him. Now, again, is it a European thing? Is it a North American thing? I don't know. Laine stepped in and scored, what, did he score 40-something goals his first season? 30, 40 goals his first season? He didn't have a problem.
Yes.
No, is it because he played on a bad team? I don't know. I don't understand. Why are the Rangers having such a hard time developing prospects, especially the forward prospects? It's a problem.
It's been a generational problem with this team. I mean, other than Gilbert and this is before the drafts, but Gilbert and Rattel, you really can't think of some major impact forwards that they've ever had that were drafted.
And Kovalev, just going back to him, he may or may not go to the Hall of Fame, but even if he does go to the Hall of Fame, his bigger success was not on the Rangers. He was more successful in Pittsburgh.
And
more points in less seasons, more goals, more assists, more points in less seasons.
Is it unfair, or is it, if I were to say Chris Kreider turned out to be a really good draft pick? I mean, I know he had the big season. I don't really expect him to get over 50 next year, but he's a power play force out there. He's probably the best in the NHL right now. So
he's turned the corner, and he's reinvented himself, and he's instead of trying to use his speed, he's using that genius brain of his. Instead of trying to bulldoze his way through everybody, he's figuring out ways to get into the soft areas of the ice, deflect pucks, and do the little things that needs to be done. When it's all said and done, and I have to go back and look at it, Kreider might turn out to be in the top 4 in all time in goals for the Rangers, which is crazy to even think.
Because it's like, was such a bad franchise.
If he plays the length of his contract and he averages a certain amount of goals a year, I have to go back and look at it. I've said it once before and I can't remember, but again, I mean, he's going to be a great Ranger. He's going to have a nice career. He's going to be a great Ranger. He's going to have a nice career. I guess he might go down as one of the best Rangers they ever drafted, especially in the first round. But he's not that superstar Hall of Fame,
right?
Generational talent that the Rangers never seem to. I mean, other than Leach, I guess you could go Leach and Lundqvist. Those are the two guys.
Immediate impact.
Yeah.
Here you go, Rock. Chris Kreider is already in the top 10 all time for Rangers in goals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he has a normal, let's say he has his average season,
28 goals.
if he has 28 goals, he will pass Leach, he'll pass Vickers, he'll pass Messier, and he'll pass Camille Henry, and he would move to number 6 with Vic Hadfield, with Vic Hadfield just ahead of him. Now, if he scores, let's say if he hits 35 goals this season, he'll move into the top 5. If he were to somehow replicate last season, he will pass Adam Graves and become 3rd all time behind only Gilbert and Rattel.
Isn't that insane?
That is.
I mean, when you sit back, guys, you're talking almost 100 years of hockey. 100 years.
Yep.
And to me, I laugh still because they're still breaking Bill Cook's records. Bill Cook still holds records.
Right.
The guy played in a 50-game season. 40-game season. Maybe Sean can correct me how many games Bill Cook played per season. And they're still breaking recorres and passing and not passing Bill Cook.
From 1937.
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. It boggles my mind that he still holds records in this franchise. And I'm going to use my coin phrase. There are probably a dozen people, maybe I would say half, 3/4 of the Garden that if you put a picture of Bill Cook out, they couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
No.
You couldn't. You wouldn't know who he was. They throw these guys on the Jumbotron before a game. Ching Johnson, Davey Kerr. No one knows who they are. No one knows who they are.
Well,
no idea. They're old guys who play for the Rangers. One
of the guys that Kreider passed on his way up the list last season was Dean Prentice. Who the hell knows who Dean Prentice is?
Yeah. Didn't he just pass away recently? I think he just passed away recently.
2019.
Okay. Yeah. Well, COVID kind of changed a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I can understand your frustration, but what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? You're all upset about the Rangers' horrible freaking legacy. We came off a great year. I hung out with my buddies for the football draft. I know you hate football, and I hate it too. But I had a fantasy football draft. These guys following the Rangers 40 years. And I only see them once a year. I said, so what'd you think of the season? Oh, we're happy. We're happy. Why we're happy? Why are you unhappy?
I want a cup, Eddie. I want to experience a cup before I'm too old to enjoy it. You know,
Okay.
I don't want to have to be going to see a parade in a walker or a wheelchair. I don't want to be drooling on myself. I want to enjoy
You're
it.
going to be
I was
on our
14
float.
years
You're going to
old.
be on the
You guys
BSU
were
float.
fortunate. Right. Yeah, absolutely. I want to be on the front of that. You guys were you were what, in your early 20s, the World Cup? You got to drink
I
at the
was
parade.
24.
You got to enjoy it. I had to take a final. I was 14 years old. I was in 8th grade. I want to
Oh,
experience
boy.
this before I'm too friggin' old to enjoy it.
I hear you.
But you
I
got
mean, God,
you're adding.
one cup in 80 years. Give me a break.
I understand your frustration when you put it in that way, because I have always said, other than the day I got married, that was the best day of my life. I will go to my grave saying that. That parade was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the weight of the world was off me. Like
Right.
all the shit I took in school, all the
Yeah.
disgusting losses.
Especially from the Islander fans living on Long Island.
Yes.
Oh,
And
God. 1940. How many
oh God.
It was a great day. It really
The
was.
psychiatry
So let me
bills
ask you this really
alone.
quick, because I have to run. But yeah,
Okay.
the how long? So you were a little. So obviously you were a little older than me when they won, and Jim as well. But how long? How long did that cup? Were you satisfied with that cup before you said, "All right, enough with '94. I want another one"? How long? What was the time frame for you?
It was like a
you guys?
year. Like it was like a year. Like I was like,
Honestly,
oh,
the minute I saw the Devils win it, I was like, you know what? This is fucking bullshit. I want another cup.
yeah.
Because now,
That's
because
about
now
it,
I've
yeah.
seen the fucking Devils win as many cups in my lifetime as I have. I want another one. And then the Devils won another, and then they won another. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm like, this is how I have to pay for my one cup is to watch them win
Yeah.
3?
Yeah, it was all gravy
Yeah.
for me for about a year. I didn't even care if they won or lost in that 95 the next season. But yeah, it took about a year, and then I was like, I want to experience this again. But yeah, if you look at it, it's a disgusting franchise. This franchise is really one of the worst.
Listen, I don't want to bring it down because I apologize for people. I didn't mean to bring the show down. It's passion
down.
And I just wanna win so badly. And it's just I'm not gonna lie to you. When they were up 2-0, I never do. I was planning the parade. Sorry.
Well, we know 2-0. Yeah,
I was planning. All right. Can I be off these days? And I never do that.
I know.
And
it did creep into my mind too. So
mad at myself. Straight. I said it creeped in. It creeped in for the first time in my life. I never liked that. So
you think about it.
Anyway, guys, thanks for letting me vent here.
No problem.
I appreciate
it. It was good to hear from you.
Yes.
I will definitely
talk. Good luck the next 2 days.
Doing it. Talking to you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Yes. You too. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Take care, Rob.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Later.
A great Rock from.
I know Rock had to go. I wanted to throw these out, but then he had to go. You want to hear, since we're looking at numbers and we love to talk about this shit. Here's a couple other numbers that I find crazy because for a team that has a 100-year history. Mika Zibanejad is already 24th on the list of all-time point scorers for the Rangers. He's already 24th.
Wow.
Derek Stepan is 27th all-time, and Matt Zuccarello is 28th all-time, and Peter Nedved is 29th all-time. But the fans couldn't stand this guy, couldn't wait to run him out of town twice, and he is in the top 30 all-time in point scorers. Twice this guy got ran out of town.
I would like, when we have more time, look at the original 6 teams and see where our guys stat up against, like who's the all-time scorer for the Bruins, like where our guys would be in that. Is it really that bad, or is it? If Bill Cook has still got some records, I think it's pretty bad. But Like, who's the all-time Bruins scorer? Is it like Johnny Busick? Is it?
Hang on.
I wouldn't even know. Phil Esposito, goal scorer.
Espo's got to be right there, right? Hold on, I'm looking. It's coming through now, Con.
This is also a good cue if you want to look at trades and stuff. Sean McCaff's got a book coming out. Tricks of the Trade, I think it's called.
Ray Bourque is the Boston Bruins all-time leader in points scored, 1,506.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, the Rangers' all-time points leader is Rod Gilbert with 1,021.
Wow.
Their all-time goal scorer is, you're correct, sir, Johnny Busick, 545. Phil Esposito is second. Rick Middleton is third.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And who's our all-time goal scorer?
Gilbert,
What do you have?
406.
That's pretty bad. That's a big difference. You got 3 or 4 guys. Bad job, Mike.
Let me see. Blackhawks history. Skaters.
Got to be Makita.
Bobby Hull is the all-time goal scorer, 604. Points is Makita. You were correct, 1467. So,
wow.
That's the Blackhawks. Canadians, I don't even want to look at. It's just going to be
that's a murderer's row.
They probably have 5 guys with more points than the Rangers.
So I wasn't saved by that analogy. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm not as excited anymore. It's like, but I am excited. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we got this show finally on. I was having some technical difficulties, but all things are good. When's this preseason start?
Next week, I think is the first game.
What?
I think so. Starts pretty soon.
26th,
Monday night. See? Next Monday night at the Garden against the Islanders.
Oh, I better see Reeves fight
Yeah.
Matt Martin.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
in my dreams.
I'm sure you will.
So next Monday night. Rangers Islanders. Oh, I can't wait to hear Sam's voice again. Oh, Joe, how about your Giants?
The Canadians have 5 guys who scored more goals in their Canadians career than Rod Gilbert did with the Rangers. How's that?
And we stole them from their squads were so good that Rattel and were available.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
From Guelph.
What?
From Guelph.
Gulf, whatever they call it.
I think it's Guelph, isn't it?
I don't know.
Do you want to talk to Connor?
Nah.
I know you're not feeling well, so
yeah, I'm kind of done.
Connor, we'll save you for next week. I'm sorry.
Schwitzing over here.
We're lucky we got an hour and a half out of Eddie here. He's really been under the weather. If he missed 2 hockey games, you know he's sick.
Yeah. Plus, every time I laugh, I freaking cough, which I guess is good if I'm coughing a lot now. But
I'll put you on next week.
I'm sorry, Connor. Just
real quick before we go, I don't want to forget because this is important and it's coming up close. Well, it's not really coming up close, but it is coming up. October the 29th. There we go. Here it is. I want to show everybody this fancy new graphic if you haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
The 29th. There it is. Bring it up on screen. There we go. Look at that. Yeah.
Thank you, Howie.
October 29th. Viewing party at McHale's. Hit the wrong button. There we go. There it is. Look at that. Joe came up with a nice new graphic for us.
Yeah, looks good.
October 29th, we're going to McHale's. Rangers taking on the Dallas Stars. We can get a first-hand look at Nils Lundqvist. He'll probably score a hat-trick that day.
If he makes the team.
If he makes the team. So we're going to be at McHale's. It's up at 50, I think it's 51st and 8th, something like that. Better. Hold on.
I will say, Chris, we did miss you at the last viewing party. You and your wife were sorely missed.
51st and 8th. Yes, they broke the long streak. And so, yep, come on out. We're going to have giveaways and raffles.
Lundqvist is going to give some giveaways.
What's that?
So Nils Lundqvist is going to give some stuff away.
Yes, Nils Lundqvist will be giving some stuff away for sure. And he might be giving away all his Nils Lundqvist rookie cards.
You know what? I never really invested in it heavy. I was down on this guy from the beginning. Zach Jones, however, I got a lot of shit. But yeah, my Nils Lundqvist will be using it for toilet paper.
Chris the Meat's going to be there. His lovely wife will be there. Awfully 009 is going to be there.
Nice.
I don't know if he's ever been to a viewing party because I don't know his real name. So Chef has already said he's going to be there. Matt Morello will be there. Maybe Sean McCaffrey will make an appearance. You never know.
He's been there. Got nothing but for love for you, Sean.
Absolutely.
I mean, now that you're
Sean's a big proponent of the show and his blogs, and he actually used all my tweets as part of his story to write up about the rookie camp, since there was no information anywhere about it.
Well, that's great. All right. Well, that's all I got. My eyes.
So we hope to see you all there.
Look at my eyes. They're like closing as we're speaking. We love you. I'm glad you guys came back. I can't believe next Monday is going to be the preseason.
Rangers Islanders next Monday night. Yes. Can you believe it? Hockey back already. It was a short off season, Charlie Brown.
I got to tell you, though, these preseason games used to be bloodbaths in the old days. They did. And I do miss that, but it'll be good to take a look at the guys. Want to see my boy Kraftsoff make it. The team. All right.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. We love you guys. We are back. We will be back next week. I don't know, maybe Tuesday after the Islanders. Oh, no, actually, there's a game Monday and Tuesday next week. So how about Wednesday night next week, Eddie? We can recap the first two games. We can give our evals.
Yes, I got to check my schedule, but I'll Wednesday or Thursday? Maybe Thursday.
Thursday, there's a game, too.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
All right, I'll try. I think I might be on the road Wednesday, but if I am, I could call in from the road.
Okay, because they actually play Monday, Tuesday next week. They're off Wednesday, then they play Thursday and Friday.
Oh, wow. Full week.
Easy week. Getting right down to it.
All right. We'll see you later.
Take care, everybody. We love you guys. Good night, everybody.